I told myself I wasn't going to do another Ghostbusters video until I do my film review for the movie. But let's face facts, guys. The stupidity levels for this debacle has reached levels that cause faces to hurt and turn red from all the face palming. In this video, I'm going to talk about the marketing for the new Ghostbusters movie, as well as the firing back from the people associated with the film. Also, I'm going to rebuttal certain articles out there and expose the real sexism involved with this movie that is directed at men. Yes, men. So sit back, folks, and please try not to smack your face when you do the facepalm. Now, I'm not going to recap what we already know, just kind of update you on what's happening out there. Sony chief Tom Rothman was interviewed recently, and he was questioned about all the hate this movie is receiving. And this is what he had to say. "It's the greatest thing that ever happened. Are you kidding me? We're in the national debate, thank you. Can we please get some more haters to say stupid things?" He goes on to say that the momentum for this movie is great, but again, I must remind everyone that all this firing back and the jabs back to the haters are the trolls in the comment section. That's right, the comment sections where it was exposed that Sony was removing comments from that first trailer. And it wasn't comments that were full of hate and showed the true misogyny, no. It was comments from actual critique of the terrible execution of that first trailer, as well as comments from women who didn't like the trailer either. You see, Sony knows they fucked up. They know they fucked up royally, but they have a get out of jail free card. That victim card that people like to play these days. If the movie is a success, great. They get to put up their middle fingers to all the haters and claim victory to that patriarchy. If the movie bombs, guess what? The blame will be entirely on misogyny, and with this PC world we currently live in, that logic, if you want to call it logic, will be welcomed, and you'll hear all about it from Samantha Bee. Now let's go back to those trolling haters in the comment section. Melissa McCarthy, who apparently was reported that she wasn't happy with the way the movie was turning out on set, has come out firing back at these haters. The woman who was once quoted on saying how the first trailer was misleading has since changed her tone and hopes these haters will find a friend one day. She also mentioned on Jimmy Kimmel Live that people need to realize that these haters, after they typed their hate in these comment sections, were yelled at by their moms to take out the garbage. I will agree with her that the trolls who say the most decrepit shit in the comment section are hot pocket nourished basement dwellers who do live with their parents. But they don't want to comment on the actual voices out there in the movie community. Enter James Rolfe. James Rolfe, or Angry Video Game Nerd, has a channel called Cinemassacre where he made a video about how he will not be seeing the new Ghostbusters movie. The video was well spoken with valid points, and not once did he say the reason was because of the cast of women. This is simply someone's opinion being the key word here, of why they won't see the flick. He's not a movie critic. He doesn't need to review the movie if he doesn't want to. He has mentioned his distaste for Michael Bay Transformer movies and how the reason why they keep making them is because people keep watching them. He wants people to stop paying to see these bad movies. No Michael Bay support groups out there gonna chastise him for that? No? Nobody out there? Really? Darn, was really hoping for that. Once his videos started making the rounds, the backlash ensued. Celebrities called him out on the video, and soon fluffer sites started chastising Rolfe for him not wanting to see the movie. That's right, people are upset that a guy who's not a film critic doesn't want to see a movie. Watch the video of him explaining why he doesn't down below, folks. He pleads a valid case, and I almost don't want to see it myself. Enter Comic Book Girl 19. She also made a video about the first Ghostbusters trailer and also gave valid points on why it doesn't work. She even told people that they shouldn't pay to see this movie to send Hollywood a message about reboots, and gave similar points that Ralph gave. So did she receive any backlash for her video? Of course not. Not one article about her video hit the internet. So why is it that two people gave their opinions on this movie stating that it looks just bad and told their fans not to see it, but only one received huge backlash and the other one was not even mentioned on backlash.com? That's because Ralph is a man and Comic Book Girl is a woman. That is called sexism.
You have a remake of a nearly perfect movie that you're never going to top in a million years, and then you just put a bunch of women in it, and then it's just everyone's going to blame that and then think that women suck more. And like, that sucks.
Let's look at a certain article written by a certain wildebeest. I won't name names. Ah, Jesus! Sorry about that, guys. I mean, sometimes my editing program just shows really scary things. Mother of God! All right, I really just apologize for that, guys. I hope the kids weren't around when those flashes happened. I mean, it's truly frightening. Whew. He came out to defend the women he could never get by stating that Ralph, even though gave a valid opinion on why he doesn't want to see the movie, is portraying a term he calls soft sexism. Yeah, he believes it's sexism on a subconscious level. We all don't know that we're actually sexist or racist when giving out our opinions on something. How dare us? Other diarrhea writers also claim that Ralph was sexist, even though he didn't give any impressions of sexism at all in his video. Please go watch that video. He received death threats and threats against his family. But did he cry about it? Of course not. He's a sane, logical human being who went on with his life. Didn't even fire back at anything. Look at his Twitter. Did not happen. Here's a picture of him where he raised money for a hospital. What a disgusting human being! I love how in this shit-stained article that there's mention how Ghostbusters is not really a franchise because of only 2 movies. This is not the first time I've heard this from these people. Let me enlighten you.
A media franchise is a collection of media in which several derivative works have been produced from an original work of media, usually a work of fiction, such as film, a work of literature, a television program, or a video game.
The nameless furry amoeba who wrote this article apparently read the Paul Feig and Judd Apatow book titled Responding to Haters for Dummies. Apatow stated Ghostbusters haters are Trump supporters. Paul Feig stated the nerd culture has the biggest assholes. Said writer of this post compared the haters to the people who are against gender-sharing bathrooms. You heard me right. These people cannot accept opinions that differ from their own, and that's what's truly plaguing this world. He brings up the point that there are no documented cases of a transgender person doing such erroneous acts involving molestation of children in these bathrooms. But the smart and logical thinking people who are against the gender sharing bathrooms are not transphobic and don't think a transgender person is going to molest their children. They're worried about the sick pedophile who's going to slap on a wig and some makeup and step into one of these bathrooms and have himself a party. And yes, there are documented cases of that. Mainly they're done to perv on women. If people like Apatow and this nameless cow shitslinger would actually listen to people, maybe, just maybe, they could come up with a better rebuttal. So what does the original captain of the Ghostbusters ship, Ivan Reitman, have to say about all the haters for the new Ghostbusters? He thinks it's valid. This is what he had to say. I think there's way too much talk about gender when it comes to this film. I think that many of the people who are complaining were actually lovers of the original movie, not haters of women. And he would be absolutely correct for the non-trolls out there that Sony and these other dipshits choose to ignore. You think Sony was happy that he said that? Absolutely not. But Reitman doesn't care because he sees the disaster that this film is. The man that brought this franchise into our lives was contractually supposed to direct the 3rd movie, but Amy Pascal over at Sony didn't want him to make it. She went over his head to make sure he wasn't going to direct another Ghostbusters movie. She went as far as scheduling meetings and dinners, instructing others who were taking part of these meetings not to tell Reitman. I mean, what the fuck? Now, even though Sony execs claim they love all the backlash that this film is getting, it is obvious that they are shitting their pants. Just take a look at the commercials that are showing on TV, the non-TV spot commercials. All show men in the Ghostbusters gear. Even the toys on the shelves have boys on all the boxes. It's not science here. Sony has their backs against the wall and they're trying desperately to appeal to the male audience, but for the wrong reasons. Also, these toys are already on the clearance shelf at stores, and the movie hasn't even come out yet. Yeah, that's not good. So what have I gathered from all this? Well, only that I've lost respect for Paul Feig, whose movies I love. I've lost respect for Judd Apatow, whose movies I love. I've lost respect for I never had respected with him to begin with. I've learned that this movie is nothing but a silly message of feminism that has only hurt the cause. Some might watch this video or other videos about this movie and still think it's pure misogyny at play here. And while there is misogyny in those comment sections, the majority of grievances are just the movie itself. There are classic blockbuster movies with strong female lead characters that we do not have a problem with. But the difference between those movies and Ghostbusters is those movies were original ideas. Reboots can work, but it seems that they only work when they act more like sequels and there's a passing of the torch down to fresh characters. Or you have the genius that is George Miller and you get a reboot that pushes the envelope and blows minds. Fury Road has got to be one of the best movies that shows true gender equality. Furiosa is a straight-up badass and gets punched and punches back. None of the male characters take it easy on her because she's a woman. Do I want Ghostbusters to bomb? Kinda. Sad thing is I like this director and I like the actors, but I can't help but mention that Paul Feig never had an understanding of male bonding growing up. He's been reported on saying that he was mainly raised by women and mainly had lady friends and other sensitive men as friends growing up. This is why men in his movies are generally dumb and look like idiots, and that is obvious here with the Chris Hemsworth character. So go ahead, Sony, and you people on the PC train, you can blame misogyny all you want, but if the movie ends up being this year's Pixels or Fantastic Four, please don't lie and say it's a good movie and attack the male reviewers out there for giving a bad review. That would be sexist. We don't want that. Thank you for watching, guys. Comment down below. Talk to you later. And thank you for watching, you beautiful people. You go ahead and hit that like, thumbs up button if you'd be so kind. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Subscribe to my other channel too. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Google+, and visit filmjunkie.com for all my videos.